So what made you want to be a part of the GLTBT Center?
I was actually a student at the Minnesota State Mankato institution several years back during my undergrad years, and they had a GLBT center on campus, and it was very supportive and welcoming. And so I did some research into the University of Minnesota, and they had a GLBT center on campus. And so, based on my previous experiences, I thought that this would be a great opportunity to meet other people like myself, and just, basically make new friends and, just have a resource, I guess. So that's kind of the main reasons why I decided to join the GLBT Center on the U of M campus. To talk about the GLBT Center here at the U of M campus in Kaufman Union. The GLBT Center is located in 217, room number 217 in Kaufman Union. And this is just kind of their space. They're closed right now because it's the weekend, but this is like a safe space for GLBT students to hang out and do homework and meet new people. So if you ever get up to the U of M campus, come stop up here and say hi.
What does the word discrimination mean to you?
So the word discrimination means to me that somebody would basically try to take away my rights, whether it be in the workplace, in school, anywhere basically, and say that I can't do something or I can't be a certain person or a certain way, or so I would say for me it's all about my freedom, so my freedoms in general, and somebody basically saying that you can't be this way or you can't do this, and kind of preventing me from being who I am.
So have you ever experienced discrimination against you?
So in the context of discrimination on campus, no. Everybody here at the University of Minnesota seems to be pretty welcoming in regards to my sexual orientation. And in addition to that, I would say other students of different cultural backgrounds are also very welcomed here at the University of Minnesota. In regards to discrimination in other parts of my life, in the workplace, I have experienced discrimination based on my sexual orientation, and it was a really bad experience, and basically I ended up terminating my employment with them because of several individuals. So I guess my advice to anybody is, if they're dealing with that in the workplace or in school, that you either talk to a human resource professional or you talk to maybe an advisor on campus or somebody that you trust on campus and report it.
What does discrimination mean to you?
Discrimination. To me, discrimination means that you've chosen, if you are discriminating against somebody, you have chosen to not allow them something that you've allowed somebody else based on one specific difference. So if you're discriminating against, for example, if you were discriminating against a queer person, it might be you, marriage was a pretty big thing. About 5 years ago, it's 5 years ago now, where, you know, you're discriminating against queer people by not letting them get married because the only difference is their sexual identity versus, you know, heterosexual couples. So yeah, it's just taking away those things from somebody or not allowing those things based on part of their identity.
What are some of the hardships that the LGBTQ community members have been through?
We've kind of been discriminated against all over the place. I think one of the biggest things is with that discrimination comes a lot of trauma, and people don't always acknowledge that trauma. One thing that we see a lot in the LGBTQ community that I think we don't see as much in other communities is this concept, this being separated from the family happens. We see it a lot, you know, when a child comes out to their family as trans or, you know, some other identity within that community, and then it's either a reject your identity or leave the house kind of situation.
What do you think we should do next as a society?
So I think the next step that we really need to take as a society is listening to people when they're talking about their experience being discriminated against or their experience living in one of these marginalized communities. We just need to listen to them and take their experiences at face value and not try to negate what they're saying because it's not something that we haven't experienced. Because understanding and appreciating where somebody's coming from is the first step in making that change happen.
Every single American deserves to be treated equally in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of our society.
You promise to be a respectful and loving companion.
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
You may now kiss the bride.
The grooms may kiss.